Oh, look at that. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and welcome back to the Anabolic Kitchen. For all the new friends out there that have joined us, I've been getting some awesome messages the last few days, and I just can't thank you guys enough for the continued support on this channel and the content. So let's go. Let's get this channel swole, guys. Since last week was filled with anabolic ice cream, one after the other, we're gonna change gears and go into something savory. But those flavors were fire. For the 5 anabolic recipe challenge, if you guys missed it, there were some amazing flavors recommended by you guys. Coffee flavors to fruit flavors, all the way to Oreo. So today we're tackling RJ's deep dish pizza. All right, guys, enough jibber jabbing. Let's get into today's anabolic recipe. For all my pizza lovers out there, this is a video for you. Now, for those of you who have never had a deep dish pizza, 1, you gotta go out and do it. 2, it's like diving into the biggest bowl of cheesy heaven. And not to mention, that buttery crust just packs a major punch. But for all of you pizza connoisseurs out there, do we call it a casserole? Or do we call it a pie? Or is it just a pizza? And does it require utensils, or do you just dive straight in with your hands? And lastly, why is sausage considered the pepperoni of Chicago? There's so many questions. We could go on for hours, but today we're going deep.
That's what she said.
As in, building a deep dish pizza. Let's go. All right, guys, before we get into the recipe, you're gonna need a few ingredients. First up, you're gonna need 3 grams of an active yeast. In this case, we're using a pizza crust active yeast. Next up, you're gonna need 45 grams of hot water heated to 104 degrees. Then you're gonna need 378 grams of a pizza sauce. Next up, we'll use 196 grams of a fat-free mozzarella cheese. And to level up, you're gonna need 60 grams of a turkey pepperoni. Next up, you're gonna need 90 grams of white flour. Now, for those of you who haven't worked with yeast before, this particular yeast basically cuts out any of the waiting process. All right, guys, so we've got 45 grams of water here. I'm just gonna heat it up in the microwave. I'm gonna use essentially a candy thermometer. This is the only thermometer that I've got that's food that I can throw into food. So we'll check to see what the temperature is once I get it out of the microwave. All right, guys, I don't know if you can see that, but that's about 104. So we're gonna give this a shot. We're gonna throw in the yeast and the flour together. All right, guys, we're gonna give this a spin and see how the dough turns out. You guys are probably gonna have to play around with the water ratio, but I'm gonna go ahead and put in just a little bit more. All right, guys, from a skill level, this is gonna require a little bit of work, but I think we're in a good spot. This is where we're looking. It's not too bad. It's coming out pretty good. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and roll this bad boy out. I think we need a glass of wine, guys. Gotta make this feel real authentic, like we're back in Italy, making some pizzas in a little brick oven house. Oh yeah. All right, look at that bad boy. That is looking not bad, huh? All right, guys, next up, we're gonna go ahead and take 196 grams of the fat-free mozzarella cheese, get a good base layer in, and then we'll throw in a good layer of turkey pepperoni. All right, guys, this beauty of a deep dish pizza is gonna go into the oven at 425 from 23 to 28 minutes.
A few moments later.
All right, guys, after 25 minutes of waiting for this bad boy to come out of the oven, this thing is smoking. So you guys know the deal. 3 categories: anabolics, taste, and is this gonna satisfy your craving? So first up, we've got anabolics. I'm just ready to dive into it. This thing is looking pretty solid. So while we're at it, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the calories in the macro breakdown. So in terms of calories, we're looking at a total of 981 calories. For a macro breakdown, we're looking at 17 grams of fat, 100 grams of protein, and 107 grams of carbs. Now in terms of protein content, I think we're sitting at a pretty even keel. Now most 8-inch deep dish pizzas sit at around 25 to 30 75-ish grams of protein, at least from what I'm seeing. If you look at the entire protein content for this deep dish pizza, you're looking at about 100 grams of protein. Now, cut this into 4 slices, you got 25 grams of protein, kind of average. So I'm gonna go ahead and rank this as a 7.5. Now, I think the best part about this anabolic deep dish pizza is the fat content, and I think that's where the attention needs to be put. 17 grams of fat for this entire pizza says a lot about the macro breakdown. Most pizzas out on the market today are gonna get you 25 grams, even more than that per slice pizza. So this pizza really helps, especially if you're craving pizza and looking to really slim down and keep track of your macros and make sure that they fit within the framework you're working within. All right guys, now the best part is taste. Now first off, this pizza just completely smells amazing. Got the Parmesan on top, you can smell the pepperoni, the tomato sauce, everything just, Let's go ahead and dive into it. All right guys, so obviously the crust is somewhat holding up. It's kind of falling apart, to be honest, but let's go ahead and dive in and see what it tastes like. That is pretty solid. DiGiorno, watch out. All right guys, so in terms of flavor, this thing does a great job. It's definitely a deep dish pizza. Really hits the nail in terms of cheesiness, the amount of protein, the meat, and then also a pretty solid crust. In terms of overall taste, this thing definitely hits the nail on the head. So overall score, taste, we're gonna go ahead and give it a 9. All right guys, lastly, craving. Is this gonna satisfy your craving? Hell yeah, it will. This thing is packed with flavor, and especially if you wanna add some more Parmesan, add some red pepper flakes, whatever you wanna add to it, more oregano, this thing will definitely satisfy your pizza craving. So in terms of craving, we're gonna go ahead and give this a solid 10. All right guys, that does it for the 3 categories: anabolics, taste, and craving. This deep dish pizza definitely took us out into the culinary world of pizza making. Now, if you guys took anything away from it, again, we definitely became pizza connoisseurs. So with an anabolic score of 7.5, a taste rating of 9, and then a craving of 10, this anabolic deep dish pizza racks in a total score of 8.8. Now, my thoughts on this deep dish pizza is that if you're craving pizza and absolutely cannot afford pizza or cannot fit it into your macros, this is probably going to be the next best thing. But keep in mind, making the crust definitely is a little bit of a challenge, especially for folks who have not cooked or baked with flour previously. So just make sure you keep that in mind, but otherwise everything else is a breeze. All right guys, that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekly dose of anabolic goodness and picked up some new cheesy gains. And if you're new to the channel, consider smashing that subscribe button, because that'll either save you time or you'll just enjoy watching me whip up some protein awesomeness. And if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a fat like and share it around, because sharing is caring, am I right? In the meantime, stay safe, stay swole. See you guys next time. Peace.